Okay. Oh, excellent. Well, welcome everybody. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon or good morning, depending where you're from. And yeah, so hi, welcome to
Yeah, what time is it over
National
there, Kat?
eSTOL.
Where
Over
you're
here,
at?
it's
It's a little bit later, right?
yeah, it's a little bit later. It's a bit going on into the evening, but plenty of time for some eSTOL.
Oh, would you look at that? Rocky Mountain eSTOL. Are we that far along in the year already, Kat?
It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, I remember when we were just trying to get these things on Xbox, and now all of a sudden they're all there, and we're flying through the year
Yeah,
like this.
absolutely.
Man, so I think we got to
Yeah.
get the elephant in the room. Why are you not flying in the competition today, Kat? They're gonna want to know why you're here with me. They're gonna think I stole you.
Uh, Yeah, well, no, the Bustix didn't steal me, everybody. I've been having some tech issues with Microsoft 2020. Yeah, SIM updates, incompatible with my equipment. It's fine, it is what it is. Once we get back to 2024, we'll be back. And in the meantime, occasionally you'll see me in this box.
Well, we're happy to have you here in the booth. So today we have a big old competition coming up. We're going to be rocking in the touring class first, where we have seen the Wilga ADP dominate. Victor Vassar choosing to fly the Maul M7. So what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about the Maul? He comes close in the Maul. I think Victor's a good enough pilot where he could do it, but so if you guys are wondering about eSTOL, we're going to tell you guys a little bit more about what STOL actually is. But first, Kat, take it away for the Rocky Mountain STOL touring class lineup. I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with Kat's mic. In the meantime, we have Victor Vassar in the Maul M7, which we were just talking about from Skosau, Poland. I didn't pronounce that correctly, but I do care and I do try. Mark Hawkins in the Wilga ADP with the Plymouth from Plymouth, UK, Frozen Alaskan in the Wilga. Tom Smith in the Wilga, and Brown Dog in the Wilga. Brown Dog leading the pack typically in this group. He's always either winning or getting second or third place. Tom Smith always scoring high. Frozen Alaskan, Mark Hawkins. I mean, all these guys have won. The only real zinger here is that Victor's in a different class than he was all of last year. So Mark, Tom, Brown Dog, and Frozen Alaskan, they all know each other. Victor Vassar's the switch in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. The others, they've all been competing each other years now, so they all know each other. Victor has turned up in the mall. I mean, the way he flies that mall is incredible. The way he does what he does, I mean, the way he flies is incredible. The fact that he can keep that mall up with those high power Wilgers is impressive.
Yeah, it is. I saw a video the other day of a real life Maul, and the guy, you know how the Maul, the flaps are rather short on the end, and then you have the
Yep.
ailerons that are kind of longer. Well, this guy did a switch on his Maul, and it totally flipped that process around, or that the way that the flaps and the ailerons work, and it was so wild looking. I was like, man, that's a nice looking Maul, but he did a bunch of work on it. So next thing we know is we need that in the sim. Come on, developers. We need. No, I'm joking. Can't put too much pressure on these guys. They spend a lot of time working on the planes, but man, I wish we could get them faster.
I mean, that is just a process of development, isn't it? Especially with 2024. Obviously, a lot of developers are working on that and working on new planes and all sorts.
Speaking of new planes, though, Cat, I saw a Cat. I saw some pictures of Cat floating around Discord, and I was like, no way. What is she in? And so, I saw the new Chinook is out. It's not the one that's like a replica of Dan's aircraft. That'll be coming out soon, but the one right before that. So it's a little bit of the general aircraft. And
Yep.
man, I took a few flights in that baby. And Kat, aren't you like part of that? Don't you have a livery in there? Who's responsible
I
for that plane?
I I do indeed have a livery in that. It's the responsibility goes down to ZRZ Studios. They're or CRZ or CRZ. They're a brand new studio. They recently released the Chinook, as you were saying. It's their first plane, and the detailing on the modelling on it is impeccable. I know you're one for modelling as well and looking at all the details. So, yeah, no, it was absolutely crazy. It's done by two brothers, and yeah, it's a really special thing. They are going to have the Valdez special coming later on in the year, so that's going to be coming as an add-on, and yeah, they're also sponsoring eSTOL and yeah, they sponsor me as a pilot as well. So when we go to 2024, I'm going to be flying around in that plane for sure.
That just makes me happy, Kat, that you get to have a chance to be sponsored by a cool company like that. You're supporting them, they're supporting you. That's what National eSTOL is all about, is supporting cool products supporting our pilots, and then our pilots giving our audience a great time. So we are going to show you guys, speaking of the audience, we're going to show you guys what is STOL. If you don't know what STOL is, we're about to find out. Crash course in STOL coming in 3, 2, 1.
Takeoff and landing competitions are simple. We have the pilots here competing in separate classes to get the lowest score possible. As you see behind me, we have the start-finish line. So let's start with the takeoff. This runway is marked with a start-finish line, and as a competitor parks their main gear on the line, they apply power and position their aircraft to get off the ground as soon as possible. Once their main gear leaves the ground, a line judge will mark their takeoff score using the measuring line along the side. This score will be added to the pilot's landing score on this heat. The landing is in two parts. It's either over the line and counted, or if the pilot's main gear touches down before the line, or even touches the line, this heat score is scratched and results on a landing disqualification, and the pilot will have to rely on another takeoff and landing score to get them on the podium. A quick look at our aircraft shows we have two types of landing gear: tricycle and tail draggers. On the tail dragger aircraft, the score is marked from the two main wheels toward the front of the airplane. And for tricycle landing gear, the score is marked by the two main gear in the rear of the aircraft. It's a fierce competition out here, but at the end of the day, it's all about building better and safer pilots in the skies. It's a great day for STOL competitions. Let's get it started.
It is indeed a great day for STOL competitions. Absolutely, let's get it started. And as you can see, we have our first, the touring class, up and running. And
Wonder what the weather's like over there at Pinedale, Cat. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Oh, we have live weather right there.
Yeah, there we go. 0 to 3 knots from 310.
Mostly sunny with a high around 83 to 84 and light to moderate winds from the west, northwest to southwest. Not a bad day for STOL, but we would like to see a little more wind. Me, I like wing walkers. I like Skywalker. I like wing walker. Okay, and when we're playing STOL, I want to see the wing walkers. I want to see people holding down those wings. Otherwise, the plane's going to fly away. That's what wing walkers are. We need a developer to develop some wing walkers for that. I mean, we've only really needed them once at competition so far. Do you remember that one, Kat?
I do remember that one. I think the Spec class at the time happened to be the J3 Cub, which was especially interesting because obviously they're very light planes. So, yeah. Everyone was dancing around and having fun with that one. But it did lead to some absolutely incredible STOL. So,
oh yeah, it's one of those days where people were flying in and landing with a negative airspeed. They're landing in backwards. No, not really, but I mean it was close. It was tough to get the planes even taxied out. But I will say the professionalism of the pilots I mean, what do we expect? We know that's going to be coming out of these guys, but they did well with without wing walkers in that competition, and so hopefully we'll get some wing walkers. I mean, if they can do carrier crew in Microsoft Flight Simulator, they can definitely do the old double W's, wing walkers. And as we gas up these pilots as they come down the runway, we have Victor Wasser in the Mall M7. The Mall M7 is a wonderful bush plane for the simulator. This was made by a group called Pilot Experience Sim. And they were working on a second plane, not a bush plane, but they were working on a second plane. But so far, their only plane to date, and a pretty darn good representation of it too. And so for those who like the Mall, one of a vast array of good bush planes that you can get out there, and Victor sure does seem to like it. Number 94, Victor Wasser, flying out of Skolkow, Poland. The Polish, known for many great things, like Polish language, Polish hot dogs, and Polish sausages. Probably a lot of other cool stuff too. I'm just hungry right now, so Polish sausage sounds great. Maybe some sauerkraut. Got any sauerkraut fans in the crowd? Speaking of sauerkraut and things that have nothing to do with sauerkraut, we have Mark Hawkins, number 123 in the Wilga ADP. Sponsored this class brought to you by On Air, Airline Manager, one of our eSTOL partnerships, great people over at On Air. So if you're looking for something to do more in the sim, beyond what the sim provides, On Air can be that provider. No questions asked. Just go to onair.com and see what they have to offer for you. Number 97, one of the OGs in my favorite livery still to the day. I don't know if I'll ever be able to not think this is my favorite livery. I just love the juxtaposition of that black and yellow with the skull and crossbones with the aviator glasses. True aviators, the ones that wrap around the back of the head. Now, if you know anything about Tom, you'll know he doesn't mess around. His wife said, Tom, it's a motorcycle or a flight simulator. He said, I'm going to build the flight simulator. And so, therefore, Tom built himself a simulator for the price of a very nice motorcycle. And maybe we'll get a chance to see it if we have an onboard camera today with Tom. You get to see that. A lot of people know about it. A lot of people don't. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I don't really know if the story about Tom asking about the motorcycle and the thing, I don't know if that's a true story. I made that up, but it's a good story nonetheless. Frozen Alaskan, with the patriotism just dripping. What do they call that? Dripping Pats? Dripping Patty? They call that patriotism. 1-800-USA. Frozen Alaskan from up in Alaska, real life pilot. Flying that Wilga ADP. He knows what he's doing in the sim and in the world. Whether it be air he surrounds himself with or virtual air, he is the man. Rounding out the pack, back to work, aka the Mike Patey slogan. Give credit where it's due. Brown Dog does have Mike Patey's name or his initials there to give credit for that slogan, because that slogan is Mike Patey's. And another Wilga dripping with Patty, aka patriotism, with references all over, from the jaws on the front of the plane from the World War II aircraft to the American flag on the back. Tattered but beautiful, just like Brown Dog's soul. Wonderful. So there it is, folks. The class, they're coming out. They're going to be showing us what they have here today at Rocky Mountain Stoll in Pinedale, Wyoming. Now, this is an interesting place because it's very high in altitude, okay? So most of the times when you see a Stoll competition, you're going to be seeing us flying at around 2,000 to 3,000 feet, maybe, sea level, maybe 600 feet above sea level, but you will not often, and very seldom, other than here in Pinedale, Wyoming, are you going to see people taking off at 7,000 feet. What does that matter, you say? Well, It matters because there's very little oxygen compared to sea level if you're talking about being up at 7,000 feet. And all these planes, most of them anyway, are mixture. Piston driven, aircraft, and so they have a mixture, and they have all these other, you know, kind of not really problems, but just kind of detriments to flying way up at 7,000 feet because there's less air. You need air for a lot of things. You need air for the engine to go. You need air for the wings to flow. So, Kat, do we have a microphone? I think I can hear Kat's microphone. Kat, do we have you? I hear you.
Let's see. Hello, hello. Ah, you hear me?
Yeah, there she
Excellent,
is.
fantastic. I'm back, baby.
Kat is back. So, I guess we're giving Victor Vassar #1 start here. See what the Maul can do. And Kat, we have a green flag. Victor Vassar takes off. He says, "See you tomorrow." Oh, love the wings on the back of that aircraft. Or on the wing. Oh, yes. I love the wings on the wings of that aircraft. That's kind of funny. But there's nice feathered painted wings on top of that aircraft. It's beautiful. Props to whoever did that livery. And off we have it. Mark Hawkins using just about all of the runway to get off. But Mark, a veteran, bobbles a little bit, tries to pull a little early, but doesn't matter. He knows he wasn't ready to fly, and instead of trying to pull off when he could not fly, he still put her back down and gained a little more speed. And at least you're going to get a score out of that, right? That's why, and at least you're not going to crash. And so Mark, being a veteran, he knew that he needed a little more, so he took a little more. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. Wow, this weather. So we have a lot of things working against us today, folks. No wind, barely any wind. We have 7,000 feet. We have 84 degrees. Pinedale, Wyoming is not going to be a forgivable airport today. So we're not going to see those 10-foot takeoffs. We're not going to see that. Just not going to happen today. Unless someone brings like a helicopter and tries. But we'll kick them out because this is eSTOL, not eVTOL. Wow, props to Frozen Alaskan for getting off the ground before 600 feet. And folks, just so you know, if you don't remember from the video, that is about 600 feet you're seeing there. Typically, these Wilgas can take off anywhere from 40 to 70 to 80 so feet. But that's the challenge of Pinedale, Wyoming. You have a big bird, you have no wind, warm weather, and that is what's so interesting about STOL. You never know what kind of competition you're going to see. Are they going to be battling out at the 40-yard line, or are they going to be battling out way, way down, trying to get any score at all? It looks like that's the case. The latter is the case. So Brown Dog is up and off. Everybody got off all right. Doesn't look like anybody DQ'd for that round. We have all takeoff scores. Victor Vassar taking off in 536 feet. Mark Hawkins taking off in 332 feet. And I credit that to him realizing he couldn't have pulled at the time. And so he just gave it a little more, and he got off much earlier than he would have if he would have just tried to pull. He would have bobbled down the runway all the way without actually taking off. Frozen Alaskan. Tom Smith at 385. Frozen Alaskan, 444. I'm waiting for Brown Dog's numbers to come in still. And it looks like we have about 219 feet for Victor Vassar. So not a bad landing for Victor Vassar. For his first one, I mean, hey, you get the points on the board, you're good to go. But yeah, it's just interesting. These guys are so used to, and you got to think that plays a psychological role. You have these guys that are used to taking off in these very planes, in 70 to 80 feet, sometimes even, earlier if there's wind. But you got to think about that, and these pilots have to remember this. You might get down on yourself for, oh man, I'm taking off in 300, 400, 500 feet. That's not like me. Well, it's a whole different ballgame today. And everything's not a ballgame. It's a whole different STOL field today. Ooh, absolutely sticks the landing like an Olympic ice skater, and their partner whips it up, does a triple dippy whip, and comes in and lands it perfect. Mark Hawkins, veteran, not of the military, he might be, but veteran of eSTOL, that's for sure. Absolutely. Sick stick. Love the view with the two planes in the background. You have all the pilot skill in the world needed to keep separation between these two planes. Another sick stick landing. Tom Smith just popping it down. He says he catches the line, then he don't know nothing about it, folks. Look at him swinging his hair. And you won't see any concussions out of the landing there, folks. Tom Smith with a perfect, beautiful landing. He is in a full motion simulator, so when he has a rough landing, he knows it. He wakes up in the morning with bruises often, because there's no joke about it. His simulator is crazy. Hand-built, smart guy. He knows what he's doing. Also, another stick landing. Look at that. 100 feet, 120 feet, 140 feet. Wow. 139. Unbelievable. So Mark Hawkins so far, looks like actually Mark Hawkins DQ'd. I'm not sure what happened there on that landing. But Victor Vosser with a 218-foot landing for the first one. I think Frozen Alaskan is going to beat that by quite a bit. Yeah. 139 for the best landing so far. We did have Mark Hawkins in there, but he must have scratched. Another stick landing from Brown Dog. What are these guys doing? Shutting off the engine, getting rid of all that thrust. He knows what he's doing. He's a guy. Not just any guy. He's a guy that's won plenty of times. Brown Dog. It's scary. I wouldn't want to go against Brown Dog, I'll tell you that. So let's recap here. We have 218 from Victor Vosser on that Maul M7. Great landing. Very competitive with everything. Mark Hawkins with a 134, but also he DQ'd. Tom Smith with a 222. Frozen Alaskan with 139, and Brown Dog with a just over 140. I'm going to say 147. 147 on the nose. And I think, folks, we are missing audio from Kat today. Maybe she's back? I hear her.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? You hear me?
Hello.
Am I back?
I hear you.
Hello? Hello? Well, that was an amazing first round, wasn't it? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Mark Hawkins picking up that takeoff from Mark Hawkins is amazing.
I know.
And I mean, he comes from just down the road from me, so I'm always supporting him. And the fight between him and Brown.
We lost a little bit of we lost Kat's mic, but she was saying that her and Mark live somewhere close to each other, and I like it. I want to see United Kingdom patriotism over in the United Kingdom. I want to see them guys freaking cheering each other on. That's what it's all about. Oh, I still can't get over the wings on Victor's airplane. And not the physical wings, but the wings in spirit that are painted on. Look at that. Would you look at that? So, it looks like we're going to have for the shortest, it's going to be Brown Dog with that combination of 398 takeoff and a 147. And I think in a very close second, Frozen Alaskan. Seems like it. But Mark Hawkins would be leading the pack if only he did not scratch. I think he scratched the first round. So another couple of great takeoffs, though. Looks like we see Tom Smith now getting ready to take off. Barricus already took off. Mark Hawkins. And you'll see the takeoffs get a little bit better as we go on. So Tom, I think he's going to best his last takeoff score. It seems as if that's so. And do not worry, guys. We're working on Kat's audio. So one of the things about this broadcast, this TV show that you're watching, there are so many things that go on in the background, and sometimes we have issues with it. but that's just fine. We'll have Cat's sweet sultry tones back on in just a minute. So don't worry. It's not going to be all coffee from me. We'll have tea from Cat here shortly. Frozen Alaskan with a beautiful takeoff. As we wait for the numbers. Oh, wow. Wow. 242. Just edging out Mark Hawkins at 257 from his second takeoff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Brown Dog blowing it away again. Now remember, folks, it's from where his front tires leave the ground. Although his back tire was still rubbing on the ground, they're going to count that from where his front tires left. So he's got unbelievable. And I did hear Race Control mention something. Can I get that again, Race Control?
I think they were saying that I might be back again. Am I back again? Can you hear me, buddy?
Cat. Oh, yes, we hear Cat.
There we go. Yeah, no, that last takeoff from Frozen Alaskan was absolutely insane. You
don't
can
think I've ever
definitely
seen
see
one
from
like
the
that.
distances. Well, you can see from the distances that the first round,
Oh, yeah.
maybe they were being a bit conservative, but now it's second round. It's all guns. Let's go.
Yeah, every round, second round for you, Cat. That's why I love you so much. That's why it's so much fun to watch you compete. 189 from Brown Dog on that takeoff. And Cat.
And Victor Wasser nearly just was looking for pennies then. Absolutely.
Looking to
and
buy a
in the
new prop.
Yeah, absolutely. In the chat, we got Shaderoo, who's one of our competitors, saying that we're at Fogstall, which seems accurate if you're looking at the
Oh, yeah.
the cloud conditions. Yeah, absolutely.
Great point from the chat. Great point from the chat, Fogstall. You know, actually, I think that's actually how Victor measures his prop. He doesn't trust the number on the box when he gets it from the company, so he measures it like that. You know, if it touches the ground, you know, that's how he knows. Anyway, chat, thanks for watching today. Don't forget to slap that like button like it owes you money, so that way we can get the chat and the stream out to as many people as possible. That's the joy of eSTOL. You get to spread that love. And Kat, what are you seeing here? What are you seeing?
Sorry to interrupt there, but Baracus just
I wanna hear it.
absolutely stopped it. Baracus just, I'm not sure what the distance is going to be. It looked to be like 120 or something. It was crazy.
Sub 120, maybe a little over like 122, 123.
Something like that. Yeah, about that. Which, considering his initial takeoff was also fairly short, that's a hell of a competitive. Yeah.
I mean, when you're taking off in 257 feet, and remember, folks, we were at 5,000 with high heat and low or to no winds today. So these takeoffs numbers are going to be a little bit different. These pilots are going to be getting in their own heads, or are they? I don't think they are. I think the first round they settled down. They were getting the lay of the land. Well, if you can say, they're testing the waters. It's funny how we as humans use all these euphemisms. We're in the air, and here we are talking about testing the waters. But speaking of waters, there's so much water in the air.
That last landing, it did look like Tom carried quite a lot of energy on that. I can understand being in that rig. I wouldn't want to be slamming it in either.
No. Yeah, he did. I felt like it was like a seriously high alpha, just coming in, just a lot of power. You see that big bounce there? That is not accurate to what would actually happen in real life. That is a glitch in the sim, unfortunately. Somebody filled his tires with helium and bouncy balls. 25 cents a pop from your local restaurant.
I do love watching the Wilgers do their style. The high alpha, dragging the tail in the grass. Again, you can put the tail on the ground. That's not a problem as long as you keep those mains in the air. Get those over the line. But yeah, it's always very impressive to watch these big birds coming in.
And as Mark comes in, it could be a scratch.
Is that a scratch?
Brown Dog turning off the engine to lose that thrust. One of the only pilots doing that right now, and that's a real life thing. People do that in real life, aka Hal Stockman. I've seen Hal Stockman do it. As Brown Dog came in, though, I couldn't stop but thinking about his last takeoff, and then he scratches possibly. So that last takeoff may not have counted for anything, but I'm telling you what, I've never at least seen it or paid attention enough to see someone taking off with their back tire still on the ground. And don't you deny that I have tried it hundreds of times.
Yeah, and that's been called as a scratch, and I'm just looking at the data here, and that's a scratch of 2 feet. That's how close he
Oh
was.
my
And
lord.
by the way, earlier on round 1, Mark Hawkins scratched, and he scratched by 1 foot. So these guys are really going for it.
Oh yeah, this is exciting. You know, like someone queue up the Josh Groban and raise me up, son, because Jesus, this is a beautiful competition right here. These guys are going at it. I got a buddy who got married over the weekend, and he always used to sing Josh Groban, "You Raise Me Up" at karaoke. And sure enough, at his own wedding, he karaoke Josh Groban. So not only did he do it to troll everybody through his whole life, he did it to troll himself. What a guy.
So here we go. Baracus is on.
Everyone's at home singing, "You Raise
Again,
Me
up
Up."
early. You see them roll slightly there. That's to pop a wheel off and yeah, get that plane flying before it's not quite ready to be flying. So these guys are really pushing the edge of what these wheelers can do.
I'm just going to say it now, chat. Don't email me when you can't sleep tonight because Josh Groban's stuck in your head. Just joking. Tom Smith in the Wilga, taking off in an alienic, if that be a word, length.
If it wasn't, it is now.
Yes, gravitic propulsion. I don't know if he touched back down, though. To be honest, Kat, he might have touched back down. And so we'll be looking at the numbers to see if he, in fact, touched back down. It's hard to tell. You know, these guys judging. By the way, we do have a guest judge in today. Young 80K, a.k.a. the man, the myth, the legend, 80K's son, came in to help out today. So big shout out to 80K's boy for coming in and helping us out. I mean, he's basically a man nowadays, but nonetheless coming in to help out. So thank you. Brown Dog getting ready to take off.
Yeah, he's got his last round, so he's definitely going to be full attack on this one. You can tell. Oh,
pulled a little bit too
wobble
early.
on takeoff. Yeah, just a little bit too much too soon.
Yeah,
that's going to hurt his
Brown
distance,
Dog.
but not by a huge amount. He's still Brown Dog and Frozen Alaskan both took off with 233 feet, exactly the same distance.
That's pretty damn good. You know, seeing as one of them, you know, went back down like that. But you know, Frozen Alaskan and Brown Dog, their numbers have been pretty similar all competition. I mean, not too far apart, really.
I mean, all of the Wilgers have been fighting neck and neck. And here we go. Here's that.
Really,
Victor Wasser.
really fighting to keep that off the ground.
Oh, he didn't keep it in the air. That's a shame.
You know, you got to give him credit for trying. You know, the one thing I noticed about Victor, you know, Victor's a great pilot. He won all the time when he was flying the 170B, but they got rid of the 170B, that particular version, so nobody's flying that particular version anymore. It was just too unrealistic. Great plane, and there's nothing against that plane, but I mean, it's just, you know, we have to try to keep this as realistic as possible because the goal is not to be, you know, some wild and crazy, you know, like NFL Blitz type of game. If anybody remembers that blast from the past for like Nintendo 64, you know, we try to go more of the Madden route instead of the NFL Blitz type of route. And great landing from Barracus, just over 140 feet.
Yeah, it's a lovely landing, that is.
Derek Holman is asking about the 180 M7. I think it is the 180 in that M7. It's made for the simulator by Pilot Experience Sim. You can get it right in the store, right in the simulator store. But yeah, this is very similar to real life. I mean, you know, I will give you guys a little tidbit from the past. So last year, we actually had the FAA called on eSTOL. So someone reported an eSTOL video, very nice landing from Tom, giving it everything. He had to give it a little too much power, you know, to keep it in the air, but doesn't matter. Nonetheless, he still gets stopped a ton. But great piloting skills out of Tom. He was going for it. He needed extra power. There's not much you can do in that situation except add it or crash, or at least stall onto the ground, and scratch. Which so great job. There's nothing else Tom could have done in that. He's going for it. He gave it everything he needed to do, and great piloting skills out of Tom. But yeah, it's very similar to real life. And we actually had the FAA was called on eSTOL, and someone reported one of our eSTOL videos. It was not even real flying or anything like that. It was the eSTOL video. And so, sure enough, as you guys may or may not know, the FAA has to call on every report. So, giving up a little bit, not much more than Tom gave up last round, but giving up a little bit nonetheless. And Frozen Alaskan gets her stopped in about 160. But with the takeoff of 233, we're looking, this may be the tiebreaker here, folks. This may be the tiebreaker. Oh my Lord.
That might be the one. That might be the one.
I mean, so this is what we have. We have Frozen Alaskan at 233 and 161 for takeoff and landing in round 3. We have Brown Dog at 233 and question mark.
Oh, and was that over the line?
Oh,
that
my
was so close.
goodness.
That was
and,
so
excuse me,
close.
that was Tom in Frozen Alaskan. I got that a little mixed up. I meant to say Brown Dog in Frozen Alaskan. And Brown Dog had just come in just now. So, my mistake there. But Brown Dog,
And looking at the
Yeah, take it away.
that landing was not a scratch. That was 4 feet over. So that's going to count.
And from the chat, Mark Hawkins, few stressful runs. I know. And for whatever reason, it's not about the 10-foot takeoff today. You know what I mean? It's not about the vertical expedition. It's about the 7,000 feet in the air and everything working against you. And these pilots are still kicking ass and taking names.
I
And
saw reports that the current density altitude is closer to 9,000 feet. So,
so
we
2,000
may
feet.
be at 7,000 feet, but these aircraft are going to feel like they're flying at 9,000 feet. And that's simulator, that's exactly the same as real life.
Yep, you said it, Kat. It's exactly the same, and that's what we strive for at eSTOL. It's like with everybody on the team, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes, and so you got to think about all the people that are running the drones and running drone cameras and helicopters and everything from scenery creators to ADK sitting behind the desk putting all this stuff together. The pilots, me and Kat sitting here. See, we don't act smart. We're actually smart. We don't make anything up as we go. No, but everybody that puts this together, I mean, it's amazing what they're able to do. We are so blessed to be good at what we do and to make this as nice as possible that we had the FAA called on us. That's a compliment. But folks, it was pretty funny though. Yeah, the FAA called and they said, yeah, we did realize afterwards that it wasn't a real video, but we have to call on every call. But yeah, so realistic that even the FAA thinks we're real.
I really wish I was a fly in that FAA office when that one came in. I'm sure it would have been good fun.
Yeah, I wonder what the conversation, someone sitting in an office Betty, gotta come in here and see this. They're all like, oh, we're gonna go. They're probably sitting around the phone, got it on speakerphone when they call. That's amazing.
So we've got the
There we go.
Got the outcome, and it looks like the winner was Brown Dog with a total run of 363.
That is hot. Brown Dog, Mark Hawkins coming in second, very close, 390. I mean, think about this: 363 feet with a 9,000 foot density altitude.
And these are big
amazing.
Heavy planes as well. These are big heavy planes.
Frozen Alaskan is in second, but somehow the data's in and it didn't show up. So just so you know, Frozen Alaskan is in there second place, and I'm not exactly sure his number was 394. 394, so he just edged out Mark Hawkins by 4 feet.
4 feet. 4 feet.
I mean,
in
look
that.
at this.
That's crazy.
Even Tom and Brown Dog, fourth place, and Brown Dog are just only, so a little bit behind. Now, I want to mention something here, okay? Because the average person might look at this and think, well, Victor Vassar, he's way behind the pack. You know what I mean? Well, he's not way behind the pack. He's doing the best he can in his small M7. And you can see
Yep.
he bettered his takeoffs each time, 536 for the first takeoff, 507 for the second, and 470 for the third. His landings are all competitive. So I think where Victor's going to struggle, obviously, throughout the year is just the fact that the Mall M7 has a longer takeoff roll, and there's not much he can do about it.
Absolutely. That's what he's been struggling with all year. I think it was not last competition, the competition before. He put in one landing that was absolutely mind blowing, and it looked like he'd broken physics. The way he
Yeah.
flies the plane. In real life, he's a glider pilot, so he is a expert of energy management. So
Mhm.
landings are his speciality, 100%.
Speaking of glider pilots, I recently, so I do a little bit of testing and stuff for Got Friends, and they recently released their AS33, which is a glider. Very inexpensive. You can get it on their website, got-friends.com, or you can get it in the store. You can actually free trial it in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is cool. They're one of the first developers I've seen doing the free trials. You can rent it
Yep.
as well. So, but very cool. That glider got me into gliding, and I won't say first because Kat knows who's responsible for first getting me into gliding, but I wasn't super interested in it, and I never really did it too much. Man, I got in that glider, and for some reason, the attention to detail, every little thing down to the last bolt and nut, the flight model, everything is just so beautiful in it. And so I just got more interested in what Kat had taught me, and I took what she taught me and did lessons on that. So live weather, 0 to 3 knots from
Yeah.
310 degrees altitude, 30.45. We have a
So-
dry runway with a temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit and 46% humidity. Wow.
Yeah,
So-
so gliding is all about making those happy vario noises. But I just want to, I think we all from eSTOL want to say thank you to Got Friends. They are indeed one of our supporters. They support us with what we do and everything. I mean, the
Yes.
Bush scene wouldn't be the same without them. You know, like
Nope.
the work they've done. They're the ones who that beautiful Wilga you saw flying. They're the ones who worked with that. Some of the planes you'll see in the later classes, I've got friends planes as well. They are key to bush flying and eSTOL as well.
Yeah, in my world, there's two names that are, and there's a ton of names out there, but I mean, there's two names that are quintessential to bush flying and Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's not about which one was first or which one was second. I don't even know the answer to that. The point is that it's Got Friends and Parallel 42. Those two developers are, Parallel 42 will tell you we're not a plane developer, but they develop all kinds of stuff for bush flying. And, Got Friends supplies a ton of planes for bush flying. And Parallel 42's got a new one coming out really soon. I can't wait. So those two are the quintessential bush developers. And then you have all kinds of smaller developers, like we saw the Pilot Experience Sim Mall M7, or we talked earlier about the CRZ Chinook, which is awesome. It's one of those videos that I wanted to make a 20-minute YouTube video about, and it ended up being 40 minutes. And then I went to edit it and realized my microphone was muted. So I have to redo the whole video, and it was one of those videos where you just knew it was good. But either way, there's a ton of good names, and we're not leaving out anybody. There's a ton. We'll talk about them another time for sure. But anyway,
Talking
Rocky
of-
Mountain
yeah,
eSTOL.
Talking of good bush planes, here we come with the backcountry class. And we have LBR Gate, Little Black Rain Cloud. He's flying the Carinado 170B. Byron Bowman in the same 170B. Now this, again, like you were saying earlier, this isn't the same 170B we were using last year. We were using one from a different supplier, a different developer. But this one is a bit closer to reality. And behind both of those is Cedric P. In the Husky 81C. And Cedric is one of the fundamental guys here at eSTOL. He does a lot of people's liveries. And he's also the author of the eSTOL training tool, which is also where we go when we want our data for landings. So that's all down to Cedric as well.
Yeah, big thanks to Cedric for making that tool. I still have yet to master reading it. I seem to be able to figure it out in the very beginning, and then as time goes on, I lose, like, I don't know how it happens, and it's my fault because it's a very well-made tool. It's just my fault for not using it as much as I should. But I can only use it a couple hours a month, and then other than that, I don't really know where I would be able to see that thing and kind of track people, because there's a ton of people flying on it right now. But you know, as the month goes on, you know, their practices are spread apart, so it's like hard for me to figure out. But I do need to take a crash course from said, and he did reach out to me and offer, and so I just need to get back with him.
Yeah. So here with the Gulf Oil Racing colours, we have a little black rain cloud, and as you see on his flaps, it says "Don't panic," which is a subtle reference to one of my favourite books. And yeah, great
And
play.
Kat, I want to say this is going great. I feel very, very great about broadcasting with you today, and it's cool
Oh,
because
thank you.
you're not always broadcasting with us, but it seems like every time you and I broadcast together, it just flows like melted butter, and I like it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I like the compliments. Thank you. Yeah, so up next we have Byron Bowman, or the Red Baron. And I think we also have an onboard camera with Red as well. He also, I believe he streams. So if you want to go to his channel, if you ever want to get trained, you want to join us. If you want to join us, join the Discord at what's it? www.stol. Hang on. Okay, I can't remember what it
Nationalstole.com/chat would be our Discord.
nationalstol.com/chat. That's the one. There we go.
I
That's
got
what I
you.
was trying to remember.
And then you
And
can
then,
also look
yeah.
at Red Baron's website there. I think Kat mentioned he streams, and it is down in the left hand top or bottom right hand corner. Get trained here, twitch.tv/Red Baron Flies. If you go in there and you just say, "Hey, I heard you could get trained over here," he's going to say, "What do you need to know?" And boom, just like that, you can be part of National Stole as well. And as Kat mentioned, you just, oh no. Oh my lord, there's a quote from
The
me.
movie
I don't even
is
want to see it.
called
Okay, hey, said I watched this
Idiocracy.
movie. I watched half of this movie before the event today, just for you, by the way. Popped up on YouTube, and I said, I'm gonna watch this sucker. I watched it. I was outside, but I had it playing on my phone and my earphones, listening to it. I've never seen it before, but great to see people quoting the old Burstix. That's been going on since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's smart things that I say. Sometimes it's idiocracy that I say. Oh, and the funny
Fantastic.
thing is, the funny thing is that's not even a quote. He's making fun of me for not paying attention, so he puts it on the side of his plane, and then here I am not paying attention, thinking it's a quote. Oh my god!
Oh dear. I was going to say something, but I was trying not to laugh too hard.
And you
Oh,
know,
hey.
I'm having a great time, and I shouldn't call out to God like that, you know, so frivolously, but I'm having a great time, and I appreciate everything that God's provided for us to be able to do this kind of stuff. So, what a great time, man! We can do all this stuff in the simulator. None of us even have to have a pilot's license. It almost seems like that
I,
should be illegal.
I mean, a lot of pilots use the simulator because they can't get a pilot's license for one
Yeah,
reason or
definitely.
another, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to
Whether
get
it
one.
be, yeah, they wouldn't let me have one either.
And we
We
do
have a green flag.
The green flag wags. Listen to those boys. They just don't. They hate. What do they call that? They hate dinosaur bones. They have a thing against dinosaur bones. Listen to these guys. It's
Yeah,
like when
those
you pull up to the Harley.
engines are roaring for sure.
It's like when you pull up to the guy on the Harley at the stoplight and he's just revving it up for no reason. No, most of the time, guys, I am a motorcycle rider, and most of the time, when people are revving up their motorcycle most of the time, this doesn't account for everybody, but most of the time, they're just keeping the engine going because their carburetor isn't tuned very well. Otherwise, they'd stall.
And we're off.
As far as these guys, though, I think they just hate dinosaur bones.
Let's see how LBR does.
Yeah.
He's
Pulling
off
off with a
before
little
the
left
end.
of the runway.
Yeah.
Not too much left of the runway, so it'll be a high number. I'd like to see if these guys are going to take it easy like the previous class did.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
Right. I know a lot of the people that are here every week, they know that we say this every week, but it's new to somebody out there in the chat. And so if you're new in the chat, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you guys. If you're old in the chat, we're not going to be like Verizon and only offer deals to new customers. We are going to thank the OGs of, and we love Verizon. If Verizon's fine, they got the best service, but come on now, offer the old customers some deals.
Okay, let's see how this Husky compares to the 170s. Oh, and I think it's off earlier. Oh, and he's just keeping that in the air, just about. Oh.
See, at this point, I mean, he's high enough off the ground. To me, I'd be kind of crapping my pants. I had to get the nose down a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely a change of underwear needed with some of those takeoffs for sure.
Yeah, and this is not to take away from Cedric. He knows what he's doing. He's in the plane. But for me, it's like, well, wind stops flowing at some point over the wing, and you are screwed. So you need to get the nose down a little bit, and that's just in my head. But Cedric knows what he's doing, so what am I talking about? I'm in here sitting soundly, safely on the ground, and they're up flying in the simulator. So what am I going to say? But I think that's the kind of thing that keeps us on our seats.
It's really nice to have the onboard camera from Red Baron, seeing what the pilot sees.
I wonder where we typically have a few onboard cameras throughout the event. A lot of pilots today. A lot of pilots. If you want to be one of the lot of pilots, you can join National STOL. nationalstol.com/chat. If you want to get trained before you join the Discord, and then go on over to Red Baron's Twitch channel, and he'll teach you how to fly. If he's live, you just ask him. He'll tell you. And bush flying.
Hold it off! Oh, sorry to interrupt with that, but LBR absolutely
for that you can interrupt me anytime.
Sneaking it over the line.
Yeah, that was a nice.
I'm not sure what the
nice
touchdown
landing
on that was, but yeah, that was well held off.
It looks like he's at the first red line, so I mean he didn't he didn't lose much. I mean, he might have landed over the line a little bit, but I mean getting her stopped in short order.
Now I've watched several of Red's landings, and they do always tend to be exciting. So let's watch this.
And we noticed
it's a go around.
We did notice the taxiing took a little bit to get off the field. Maybe the scorer was trying to get the score down. So what do we say? We say best kind of flying is the safe kind of flying. Byron Bowman choosing to go around. Smart move from the pilot. Cedric P now has all the time in the world to get landing. Comes in with a slip. A lot of power left in that plane. A lot of energy.
Drags a lot of energy into that.
Actually, I noticed some rubber banding. It looks like he may be having some internet issues connecting or something like that. Because to me, it looked like he had less power, and then when it shot forward like that, that's just a simulator thing. Sometimes internet connections can be that way. It's like when you're trying to load your cat videos and they're not loading. You're like, this is a 10-second video. It's 2025. But it still doesn't load.
So some people ask why we don't have many planes in Backcountry. And at the moment, the field for Backcountry is fairly small. But we do have something exciting up and coming.
Can we talk about that?
Hangar Studios, yeah. We can talk about Hangar Studios. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
So, yeah.
And I'm only asking because I didn't know what it was. And now I know, but I wasn't asking, yeah. But yeah, Kat, tell us about it.
So they released recently the new Scout. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a great backcountry plane. It's a great bush plane. It's going to be amazing for STOL.
It's nice. I've been testing it. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and the one thing I like about Hangar is, like, I mentioned something to him about the wheels, and I was all worried about saying it to him, but not just to him, but I was worried about it's hard to critique someone's work even when you're a tester on their team for a while. But anyway, I said something about the wheels, and he comes back like 5 minutes later with brand new wheels, and I'm like, whoa, I was like, is that fast? He's like, well, what do you think?
Yeah,
I was like, dude, I
absolutely.
should have known. Hangar Studios a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Hangar Studios, though,
And
yeah, coming out with that
Red Baron
that
coming
scout.
in on just to interrupt you again. Red Baron coming in on his final landing there, and yeah, absolutely greasing it.
Ooh, love the taxi cam. That's a great cam. Yeah, so you know that scout. For those of you that are unaware of what a scout is, in the real world, the scout is close cousins with the Cetabrias, the well, what's it called? The Aranca or the champs, you know, those kind of things. Um, but what the scout is actually marketed as, I don't know if this is official, but like if you watch any videos about it or you watch any of the guys that sell that plane, they basically market it as a poor man's husky. It's basically, you know, it's essentially a husky. It looks similar, very similar to a husky, performs like a husky, and but it's like half the price in the real world. So that's where the draw to that plane is. It's a very high performing aircraft for half the price of what you'd pay for a husky, and probably a third of the price of what you'd pay for something like a Cub. Or it could be the other way around. I'm not familiar with the pricing on those, but I know the Scout is very well priced compared to some of the more expensive top of the line aircraft, and the Scout is a top of the line aircraft. Its quality is just as good.
It's got a whole bunch of features as well, from what I've heard.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Hanger builds on, you know, he builds on his previous stuff, so like he'll release something with features and then, you know, continues to add the back into his, you know, newer items, which is great. You know, in Hanger, I think, you know, he's just a regular dude. He's just like I think he's a, with a grain of salt, I think he's just a single dad, just building planes on his spare time. And from what he's come out with, I mean, he's got like 5 or 6 planes already. He's got I can't think of the name of the first planes that he did. He did some of the same. What the heck is that plane called, Cat? The L. Oh,
I, I'm not sure
I
what
have
plane
all
you're
of them. I
referring
just can't
to.
think of the name. His so
But
Hangar Studios' first few planes.
if you do want to purchase it, it is currently available on their website only. Marketplace, Orbex, and Contrail will be coming soon as well. So it's currently only on their website, but soon it'll be everywhere else.
The Piper Pacer just released and is in testing for Backcountry. Jesse Dobbins, give me some more info on that in the chat if you could. And chat, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Currently, we we have 36 watching and only 4 likes on the video. So, not that you have to, but it does help spread the word for eSTOL. That's how we grow. That's how you can help us out. Is you can smack that like button, smack it, tap it, whatever you do. You do you. But smack that like button so that way we can get eSTOL spread around the world. I know I was mad when I found out about eSTOL, but not because it was, you know, not because I didn't like it, but because nobody told me about it sooner. I was legitimately mad. I was like, dude, nobody told me that this existed. I started calling people. I was like, hey, why don't you tell me? They're like, I didn't know you didn't know.
Well,
So
we got
spread the
LBR
word,
coming
spread
in
the
now.
love.
LBR coming in. He gave up a little bit of distance, but he buried quite a lot of his energy into the ground. He's trying to go. Ooh, that tail comes up at that point. Yeah, it's a little bit scary. Yeah, he carried a little bit of distance into that one.
That's the fun of it. It's beautiful. TL3000, Victor says. The TL3000, is that the? Are you referring, Victor, from the YouTube chat? Are you referring to the Sirius, the one that's out, or are you talking about the new Sirius bush plane that that our buddy, oh gosh, I can't think of his name. My recall is not very good.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Red Baron absolutely crunking that one in.
Yeah, it's a good thing that that guy is flying with us because he's always a blast to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good job also that he is a real life aircraft mechanic, because I reckon that those suspension struts need a check.
Yeah, at least they'll at least need a
And we
check.
got Cedric here. Cedric here sliding it in, trying to burn off as much energy as he can. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
he didn't get it all
he's
dragged
getting it
in too
stopped
much
quick
energy
enough.
again.
You know, with all that energy, I mean, like all he's got to do really is
Yeah,
just try to come in a little slower. But I mean, I think this is the last couple weeks we've been saying this, or you know, I was here last, or you know, last event at least, and I remember talking about this. And I think maybe the problem is that he just can't get the plane slowed down enough. You know, the stall speed might be a little too high, and he's not able to slow it down enough. I mean, you can see he's coming in a slip. He's trying to do everything he can to get it slowed down. I mean, he's using the body as essentially an air brake when he's tilting it to the side like that. Um, but he's still coming in with a lot of energy. So at this point, I don't think it is a pilot error or any pilot issue. It's, you know, not probable. I think it is probably just the way that the plane is. And so, you know, he's gonna have to try to either figure out how the heck he can get it slower, or he's gonna have, you know, I guess learn how to stop a little slower with all that power. And that's not a, you know, that's not a bad thing. That's just something that Cedric is actively working on as he goes through. That's the fun about this, is that even when you think you are proficient, there's still ways to shave off a little bit, and then also you got to deal with different winds, different density altitudes, all this other stuff. And that's what makes STOL so interesting for me, is the fact that there's just so many different things. It's kind of like golf. You know, like people think, oh, it's just golf. You just whack this little ball around and get it in the hole. How hard could it be? But when you actually get into the nuts and bolts of golf, I mean, you got different balls, different clubs, different grasses, different altitudes of courses, which it probably doesn't matter too much in golf. But I mean, there is, you know, because weather can be affected, all this other stuff. So it's a single person sport like golf. You know, STOL is. There's so many different little things that cause you to change the way that you would play or fly, etc. So there's really a lot of comparisons to golf. The only comparison is that's not the same is that this is much more interesting to watch on TV than golf. No doubt about it. I am not just saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that because it is the truth. We do have the Armady on the YouTube chat cheering for Cedric, pumping him up. Let's go, Cedric. Go, Cedric. I love to see the chat cheering for their people. So Jesse Dobbins mentioned Lionheart Creations released the Piper Pacer and the Dry Pacer on the MSFS 2020 and 2024 marketplace. It's a short wing Piper with a wingspan of 29 feet. Interesting. Piper Pacer. I feel like I've heard of it. It's just, you know, like the Piper to me is like the Cub of the, you know, GA world. Like there's so many Cubs, and when I first started understanding about aviation a little bit, I was like, man, how many Cubs are there? And the answer is nobody knows. You know, it's kind of like
the
with
answer
the Pipers,
to that
you
is
know,
yes.
there's just so many of them. It's crazy that there was a market for all those different Pipers, you know. But I guess the difference would be, you know, obviously there's a big difference that most of the Cubs are, you know, that started out as a Piper back in the day, but most of the Cubs are, you know, built after the same model because Piper did such a damn good job at making the very first bush plane, or one of the very first bush planes, that like still today they're modeling planes off of that original body and wing.
Absolutely. If it works, it works.
Yeah, definitely. If it works as good as it does, I mean, what are you going to do to change it? You know, so little tweaks here and there, and that's why you see so many Cubs. Able to keep it on the runway. Oh, didn't even scratch a wing. I wouldn't say
I don't know.
that's
I think
the
that was a written
scratch.
touch. Oh, and a spin, unfortunately. Yeah, he's going to be issued
Yeah.
with a warning from that one at least. Yeah, that was a high energy landing.
I saw light
So
between the wing and the grass, and the grass is, you know, like 4 or 5 inches long. So I did see light between the wing and the grass, but that's not up to me, Kat. That, you know, I can't call that, right, Kat? We got to leave that to the freaking.
That's what race control is for.
Yeah, we don't get paid for that.
Oh, and Red Baron getting it stopped before the 200 line. That's amazing. That's the shortest landing we've seen from the backcountry class so far. So,
yeah,
final round, Red Baron is. And Cedric doing a go around?
Cedric doing a go around, and I hope Cedric does not rush. Again, we don't want Cedric to feel rushed on his go around. We want him to have as much time as he did. So that's one of the things that you battle with. on a go around. And Kat, maybe you can speak to this, but you ever had to do a go around and then just felt like I'm the only plane in the damn pattern? I gotta hurry up and get back there, and then you get back too fast and you don't even think about it and you screw up your landing. You ever? I don't know if you've
I would
ever done it, but
say
I'm just asking.
I have had a situation a little bit like that where I felt like I needed to rush round. But the guys we have doing air bossing and ground bossing, looking after us while we're up in the sky, they're so good that they'll talk you round, and before you even know it, you're feeling fine. It's just go around, come
Oh,
back
that's
again.
cool. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
absolutely.
That's one of the most intriguing things when I did a practice with you guys and I joined in and was in the
I
communications with you
remember.
guys in the pattern. That's just so cool. Like people watching at home, they don't realize that we do that, unless we talk about it. They don't have access
Yep.
to those comms, but it's pretty cool. I mean, when you're in the pattern with all these planes, they're all speaking to each other, just like you would with what do they call that? 123 or whatever it is. Whatever the open channel is at airports that are untowered. Somebody from chat knows what it is.
Fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, they got like a little funny name for it between pilots.
Yeah, they call it fingers, I think.
Yeah, but so Cedric coming back and just
Oh,
like he never even
Cedric,
went around at all.
on that one when he came back, he managed to get a good landing that time. In fact, that was his best landing by almost half. So that was excellent.
Yeah, beautiful livery. I still got to finish watching that movie. Burstix. He literally puts it on his plane. I'm such a bad listener. Maybe my wife is right sometimes when she tells me that I need to listen better. Now she's always right, but I'm telling you, when people start painting things on the side of their planes to talk to me, no, obviously he's just joking around. Said he knows he can message me, talk with me anytime he needs to, and I'll get back as soon as I can. Obviously, but that is so funny. Paints it on the side of his plane. Gotta love the pilots, man. Those guys and gals are funny as heck.
Absolutely.
So we want to go to a quick message from some of our partners and sponsors. Let's take a look at that scout that we were talking about. We'll take
I
a look
think
at it just
I think
after results.
once we'll do the results first.
Yeah, good
Let's let these
idea. Yeah,
pilots
you
know
tell
how
'em.
they've done. There we go. And once you've done, I mean, we were talking about Hangar Studios, so once we've done that, we'll get a little video from them. Do you want to run through the results?
Cat, take it away.
Oh, okay. So up first, Red Baron, Byron Bowman, with an absolutely crazy landing of 194. Best run is total was 692. LBR following up behind with 716, with a very good landing as well, and actually a better takeoff, but not done together. And then Cedric P following up behind with 843. Was struggling on some of his landings, but he nailed that last one, landing at 283. So 1, 2, 3, a Red, LBR, and Cedric P.
Yeah, you weren't joking when you were talking about Byron's landing. That is I mean, that's damn short for the plane and the density, altitude, and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, what are we saying here? So now we'll go to a short little video of the Scout, and then we'll. So this is a new plane. It's coming out pretty soon from Hangar Studios, and then we'll talk a little bit about on air after that. So
It is
let's
out on their
go to
website.
go to a quick commercial. Oh, it is out. Okay, yes. Good to know.
Out where the blacktop ends and the trees begin, I roll the throttle back and breathe it in. just gravel, wind, and mountains tall. Only an American champion scout can climb like a whisperland where no one can stand. She hauls my hopes, my gear, my plan through the clouds and over the land. Yeah, only an American champion scout can. Only an American champion scout can climb like a whisperland where no one can stand. She holds my hopes, my gear, my plan through the clouds and over the land. Yeah, only an American champion scout can.
Lease your first airliner or rent a bush plane. The choice is yours. With over 2 million pilot flights logged from Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, P3D, and FSX, and 8 million AI flights, you're joining a truly immersive world. Navigate a dynamic economy, manage airports, build fixed base operators, share assets, and hire a crew. From buying, renting, or leasing aircraft to tracking your finances, On Air has the tools to help you grow. Explore a persistent MMO world that runs in real time. Manage charter flights, create virtual airlines, and develop custom routes. Whether you're delivering cargo, transporting passengers, or managing your very own airport, you can optimize every aspect of your operations. From thrilling bush flights in rugged terrains to long-haul airliner operations, On Air offers it all. Bush flying will test your piloting skills in some of the most remote and adventurous locations around the world. With real-time flight tracking, custom scoring, AI dispatchers, and crew management, On Air is the most complete airline management experience. Ready to soar? Experience a 7-day free trial, no commitment required. Join the active Discord community today and begin your aviation journey with On Air Airline Manager. Your airline, your adventure, your skies.
On June 23rd, our National STOL community was dealt a devastating setback. The National STOL truck and trailer, which contained all of the event equipment, merchandise, production equipment, and every item the National STOL owned, was destroyed in a fire while in transport from Moses Lake. In all, more than $160,000 in equipment was destroyed. This included everything from the computers, the cameras, we used to broadcast, to show you home. Yeah. This included everything from the computers and cameras that we use to broadcast the show you at home, VHF radios that we use to communicate, to the cones to mark the start finish line. These items were not covered by insurance. We are asking for your help. We want to be able to continue to provide you the absolute best experience that we can. You come to know and love. Do consider donating your funds to our GoFundMe or items to help us rebuild. Every bit helps. We want the show to continue. Since 2020, we've grown a social media audience of over 450,000 people, with over 95 million views last year. We want to continue expanding the world of STOL and bringing more and more aviators to general aviation. With your support, we can. Thank you.
But we have a lot of things to talk about there. So we have the beautiful plane that's already out. It's released Hangar Studios. We have On Air to check out. It's surprising that you'd be surprised, but a lot of the Bush pilots like to do airliner stuff on the weekends. So check out On Air, and then also, I think
Also,
Kat, what were you
on
gonna
that,
say?
on air, we actually have our own eSTOL virtual airline, and it's not all airline stuff. There's also bush flights, and ADK can fire you up for all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, we have our own airline if that's your bag.
So you can fly for eSTOL without actually flying in
Absolutely.
eSTOL. Nice.
I
So if you're
think
an
what they
on-air
do is
user,
I think what they do is try to simulate, for example, if you was to be bringing a part from the Valdez for the Valdez special up in Alaska, or sending stuff around for National STOL, or these sorts of things. So it's good
Right.
fun.
yeah. Or let's say like the National STOL trailer starts on fire, in transport from Moses Lake and burns up
Yeah,
entirely. And we need
unfortunately.
pilots to fly the stuff around. So, but no, nonetheless, that is something that really happened, folks. The trailer, as you saw in the commercial, the National STOL trailer, the real life trailer burned up, and it wasn't covered under insurance. So almost everything wasn't covered under insurance. $160,000 worth of stuff. So the community has, helped as much as they can, and we're thankful for every bit of it. But if you guys can do anything to help out, there are a couple links that you could donate to help get National STOL back, because National STOL is responsible for the major nuts and bolts of putting this entire broadcast together. Excluding all the human help that we have here, but they are a huge part of what we do for eSTOL, and they are all of National STOL. That's the real life competition. And I
Absolutely.
mean, if you've been to one and you've seen the families that go out and they enjoy and they do everything, and so super surprised to see everybody kind of hooked together and borrow equipment to National STOL, but eventually National STOL needs to get back to their own equipment and get their own stuff replaced. So if you can even do $1, that's going to help out. If you can't, don't feel bad about that. We're not asking for money for, if you don't have it, you don't have it. But if you do and you can help out, National STOL really does need the help. That's a lot of hard work that Tom and the boys and Karen and everybody put into it, and all gone in a flash. Luckily, Cam stuck with us. So
Yeah, no, I mean, we were worried about Cam when it first happened, but he managed to come out of it scratched but unscathed. Yeah, but it was a total loss, even down to his glasses. And I know Flying Eyes, they replaced that, and everybody's been pitching in and helping out,
Yeah.
and lending National STOL equipment and cameras and all sorts of things, just to
Yep,
keep
but
this
we're
show
so
on the
far
road.
from the goal, and we want to see National STOL live on and survive in infamy and in peace and happiness with all the stuff that they had before. So we'll try to help as much as we can, but we are going to move to the next class, folks. This is the first time we're ever going to do 7 planes ever. 7 planes
7
all in one
planes,
class.
exciting. Yeah, absolutely. This is so earlier on when you were talking about flying coordination. This is going to be a test of our pilots' coordination as well as their STOL skills. So,
And their
absolutely.
muscle
And you
memory. They're
saw-
going to have to remember, too,
Yep.
that there's one more pilot with them.
Absolutely. So you saw just a moment. You saw, I think that was Luke Carrier.
MP
In
Troll,
the Monster
Bubbles,
NX
Wes
class?
Campbell, Norcali J,
Yep.
and Sub B. And then the last guy we have is James Beatty, and we'll talk about the planes that they're flying here when they do the roll-up.
So we also have some really interesting liveries in this one. So you'll see MP Troll is in his new Australian livery, which is really cool. Another one by Cedric P, I think. Yeah. So here we have Bubbles. Bubbles is one of our newer pilots. I think he started, I think his first round was last time. Unfortunately, his first takeoff ended up in a nose over. Left his handbrake on or something. So it's happened to the best of us. So let's see getting him up in the air this time. And that looks like a default livery for the for Bubbles there. And up next we have Wes Campbell in the Parallel 42 Kit Fox. This is the sport version. This is it has lighter weight, doesn't have the baggage weight in it, doesn't have the nose cowlings, lighter fuel tanks, I believe. This is the one plane that we have to fuel up to. All of the planes are fueled to 50%, apart from this one, which has to be fueled up to 100%. Otherwise, it's just not fair because it has tiny tanks in it. But yeah, so. And this livery, this is another gorgeous livery, the Taco Delight livery. Love to see the Taco Delight livery come back, so very happy about that. Getting me hungry, absolutely. It's really good to see Taco Delight back again. We've been missing it for the past few rounds. And up next, when he finally gets here, I think having just a slight tech issue, is one of our series favourites. It's Mr. Norcali. Norcali is also one of our streamers. He's also an eSTOL ambassador. So if you have any questions at all, hop into one of his streams and say hello and say, what's all this eSTOL stuff about? And he would definitely be somebody for you to... and there's his link there, twitch.tv/Norcali. And yeah. And following behind Norcali, we have Sub B. Sub B's coming at us. He plays on Xbox. So we don't only just have PC players here, we also have Xbox as well. And that is a lovely livery there with the Argyle pattern, I believe. Another gorgeous livery. So yeah, as we were saying, this is the first time that we've taken 7 planes up at a time. Usually we take up 6. And the timing is usually worked out for that. I'm sure they have compensated for that. So this is going to be a really busy round. Lots of takeoffs, lots of landings. Unlimited class coming up next. So while we are waiting for Unlimited Class to get sorted, I think we're waiting for Norcali, who's had a bit of an issue. So while we're waiting, we'll talk a little bit about the move to 2024. So at the moment, we fly on Microsoft 2020. Obviously, we're looking to move to 2024, all the higher technology, all of the better things. So the eSTOL test team, there's a team that's been formed, and if everything in SU has gone to plan and has fixed our issues, then looks like formal testing will be conducted around about the end of October. So more information on that to come. It's coming soon. Very exciting.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to get to 24. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I'm on Sim Update 3 beta. I don't go back to 2. People want me to. I don't go back to it. It's just a huge quality of life update over two. So if you're holding out on, going to 2024 and you're still on 20, I think when some update 3 releases and is not in beta anymore, I think that might be the time to check it out for everyday people that are still waiting. As far as us though, Kat explained to you guys, will be coming sometime soon as possible. But we are working directly with Microsoft Flight Simulator, developers and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, got a whole group going and talking right directly with Microsoft Flight Sim, and they are working with us. They're cool people. They're great people.
And we have a green flag. Oh, and Luke is not hanging around. The nitrous has been hit. Oh, pop the tail, and he is up and away. Yeah, so that's the Monster NX Cub. Yeah.
I like that guy,
as
man.
you might know him. Yeah, that's Shaderoo, who you may have seen in the chat as well.
Yep. Yeah, I like Shader, man. He's a good dude. I remember when he first came into my stream back in the day, and just immediately started chatting with him, talking with him outside the stream and stuff like that, and hanging out, talking and stuff like that. It was a good time. Good time with
And
Shader
there's
back in the day.
MP Troll with his new Australian livery. It's a great takeoff for him, and that is a great livery as well. I love the Qantas kangaroo on the back, all of those Aussie references. And MP Troll is also one of our Xbox players, so he'll be coming at us from Xbox.
Ooh, Red Baron, I noticed from the chat, says he'll be in the Scout next competition. That's going to be interesting, guys. You do not want to miss the next competition, because we got a new plane coming in, I think.
Bubbles absolutely gassed the nitrous on that one and was up and away.
Funny, it looks like we have a little rivalry. It looks like Cedric is loving on the gravels that will beat the kit boxes. Cedric is not a kit box type of guy, huh? I like the kit box.
Wes there just left the ground like it was like it smelt or something. And up next we have Norcali. I know he's been having a few tech issues, but it's good to see him on the line.
What's been going on with Callie, Cat? Is it something computer issues?
Oh, I think his power went out, but I think his power went out. Maybe it was sabotage. And he is up and away.
Who else is in this class? There could be some guys and gals that might have sabotaged, might have cut his power lines. My word to Norcali, install cameras.
The Kit Fox is taking off in 87 and 92 feet.
Oh yeah, the Rans is another great plane.
Sub being a savage gravel, off he goes as well. Juicing that nitrous.
We got from the chat, Frozen Alaskan says he'll take the Rans over the Kit Fox. Two totally different planes. You're not going to even get close numbers in them, but the Rans is a great plane. Great plane. Super attention to detail, and it's been updated throughout its lifetime. Great developer. Love that dude. Flyboy Simulations. One of our first, sponsors back in the day when we started out with National Soul, eSTOL. So we got to give a lot of love to that guy. We don't have to, but,
So those gravels and the gravels and the Monster NX, they come at us from Got Friends as well. So yet another of Got Friends' amazing bush planes.
Cedric says he's an all planes type of guy. He says I can't get enough planes, but I do like seeing the rivalry though in the chat. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all about love at the National eSTOL anyway. But we do like seeing a little bit of rivalry in the chat. And just because we want to see a gravel win once in a while doesn't mean we hate the opposite plane. Cedric says he loves all planes.
So coming in now, we have Luke Carrier in the Monster NX Club. This is, I think, the only nose wheelie that we have in unlimited class at the moment.
And Cedric, I totally agree. Cedric mentions that he thinks it gets boring if the class is dominated by one plane, and it's true. It's true. So hopefully, we get to see newer planes come through by development. And
and it gives up a little bit of space, but sorry to interrupt, but it gives up a little bit of space. Tries to
We're
bury
talking
that.
about important stuff, Cat.
I mean, it's all important stuff, but
Well,
yeah.
the number. I mean, the numbers are what is why we're here. You know. So I'm just fluffing. You can interrupt me anytime.
I appreciate that. You know me, I just get excited about stolen stuff. So
And that's why you're perfect to announce with. By the way, that's one of the things. Is like the excitement that you have for eSTOL. It's real. I mean, I've known that since day one. I mean, I met you because of when we started eSTOL. I didn't even know who you
yep,
were, and you came in and like, can I fly this? Can I fly that? Can I fly? And I'm like, holy crap! These planes are like they're like the best planes in the world, but they're gonna beat everything else, you know. So like because of you, we would always find like the planes that nobody can fly. You know, you're always getting planes banned. But that's the thing is like you're always looking for the best, the shortest thing to land and stuff like that, and um, so you're like
absolutely.
number one reason why like all the planes that are banned, and we really thank you for that because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of
Yeah,
work to figure all those planes out.
I'm staring directly at the Zenith right now.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
sad story to be honest.
actually, what I am staring at is MP Troll coming in, lovely Alpha, drops it in. Ooh, get her stopped. Ooh, there we go. I
You
think
know, and
he'll be happy with that.
I hope that we were able to communicate with, you know, SimWorks Studios because they did a lot of work on that plane. We worked with Justin Tisdale, and even some other numbers from you know Zeniths, from you know National Stoles numbers. And I will say, you know, SimWorks Studios, that's a great plane. I mean, you look at that plane; it's still one of the best looking planes from, and it was like the first plane in Microsoft 2020, basically. But they did a ton of work to try to make it realistic to fit within our, you know, the realistic bounds of our, um, you know, our eSTOL. But at the end of the
Yep.
day, it just didn't end up
We
working
kept
out. But
breaking it.
that's not a, yeah. But that's not a,
That's what it
and
was.
Kat, you did really good with that. But and that's not a stab at SimWorks. We love SimWorks Studios, and we really appreciate all the work that they did on that. They had 2 good
Sorry to
seasons, or
interrupt, but watching Norcali coming in over the line, slipping it sideways, trying to bleed off all of the energy, and it looks like a good stop. Does look
so
like he
no
gave up some
scratch for
distance.
Norcali.
No scratch for Norcali, but it does look like he gave up a little bit of distance. He'll be looking to improve that on his next round.
Wow, just getting word from the scenery developer for National eSTOL that Season 3 was released 3 days ago. I think I have been playing Call of Duty for the last 3 days, and I should not have been. I didn't know the Season 3 update was out.
Tusk, tusk, tusk.
Mm-hmm.
So let's watch Sub B coming in now in the Savage Gravel. Oh, you hear him modulating that throttle, just trying to keep it up. Balloon get a little too far. Carried a bit of energy, but got it stopped.
Yeah, it's still great. You know, as long as they turn the nitrous off in that plane, I mean, you got no problems. And see, this is where you'll
Absolutely.
see the differences. You know, we're at a 9,000 foot density altitude, and it really bugged the Welgas, and it really, really bugged the 170Bs. You know, it gave those guys a hard time. But these guys are probably not going to notice it that much because you have, you know, different. You have a FADEC in the Kit Fox. You have nitrous in the gravel, and so they're a little more autonomous, and the engines are going to be able to handle, you know, the
Wes got a
extra
little
altitude.
bit of a balloon going on, but he got it stopped.
So now
In
that
the
we know
Sacco
that
Delight.
Sim Update 3 for 2024 is released, Kat, what do you
Yep.
think everybody's thinking about it? Audience, chat, if you guys want to chime in, feel free.
So far, from what I've looked at it, it looks good. Multiplayer model
Nice
matching
landing.
seems to
From
be
the old
working.
Taco
Oh,
to
here we
Link.
go. Pops that in and gets a stop. Watch the nose. There you go. Whew. He'll be taking a deep breath after that landing. And that was Bubble's first successful takeoff and landing, I believe. So he's finally got one on the board as our newbie. He's no longer a newbie.
But did he ended up scratching all 3 times last week? Is that what I'm hearing, Kat?
Unfortunately,
Or-
last time round he
Oh,
nosed over on
DQ'd.
takeoff. Yeah, DQ'd
Yep.
on takeoff. Yeah, same
I
thing
do
that's
remember
happened
that.
to a number of us actually.
Yeah, that's growing pains. It'll happen.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. That moment of your first takeoff it's a moment of stress for sure. But It's excitement as well. And then you leave a handbrake on, and then your face is in the dark.
Right.
But he's had one round now, so he's I'm sure he's feeling a bit calmer in that cockpit now.
Great looking livery too, by the way.
So we have Luke Carrier up here with the all-American, American flag, Americanliness. I'm pretty sure Luke screeches like an eagle as he flies past the camera.
Yeah, I know he does. You can't hear him because his plane's too loud, but you know, he's got the eagle.
Yeah, and I think he might have us on in the cockpit because he's waving his flaps at us, showing his stripes.
That's right. He's listening to the broadcast and the kite. That's my kind of pilot right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Shaderoo. Guys, don't forget to smack that like button on the stream. We are at 34 live watching just on the YouTube alone. We are live in other places. 34 on the YouTube alone and only 4 likes on the stream. So the like button, folks, is very easy to find. It's right in the middle of the screen. Okay, go down to the bottom of the screen and a little to the right of that, you'll see a thumb. The outline
So
of
we're
a
just
thumb.
waiting for the 7 competitors because we did have a go around. So we're just waiting for the competitors to get themselves lined up, and it sounds like Luke is powering up his suspension compressors, and away he goes. Oh, dragging his butt across the ground now, and up and away he goes.
And now, if you don't like the stream, don't like the stream. You don't have to do that. But if you do like it, then like it, and it will help us get the word out for National Stole around to everybody. Because remember back in the day when you didn't know about National Stole and then somebody told you about it? Well, it's the same premise there. We want to get this out to everybody as possible. So please smack that like button harder than anything else you would smack today.
And that's MP Troll up and away again. Looks like he's just clinging it into the air. Very nice, very smooth and controlled. We did see from him, you might see some different liveries. It's just an artifact of the simulator sometimes. Some of our camera people don't have the livery, so it will just default to a standard one. So here we go, Bubbles on his second round.
Is this the Bubbles from Canada that hangs out with Ricky and Julian? Isn't that a great show? I don't know if they ever thought they were going to make any money off of that show, but it was a heck of a show.
Yeah, I rewatched it recently. Actually, it's very good. I think you're the one who turned me onto it in the first place. But
yeah, it's like one of those shows somebody turned me on to, and I didn't watch it for the longest time because I thought, this thing looks, But then you start to see clips of it, and it's like, no way, I gotta watch this. It's like The Office.
Delight, take it off. Woo! Oh, he might get a warning for that takeoff. It was seemed a bit spicy. You can get a warning if you pitch up too hard or look to be doing anything, or if your wings go outside the bounds of the runway. So.
Well, the thing is, people in the crowd, if you're blowing their toupees off, I mean, you might get a warning.
Absolutely. And here's no Cali. Oh, it looks like he tried to take off before it was time. Got to touch back down again. And that's proof that if Cali's touching it back down, then this is tricky flying conditions up here in the thin atmosphere of Pinedale. Oh, and Sub B smashes that nitro and just says, I don't care about the altitude.
No, doesn't care about the altitude, doesn't care about anything except getting that number, baby. That short takeoff number from Subliminal Black. Newer pilot to the series, but really cool dude. Got to hear him talking in a couple of the groups, and seems like a great guy. Wants to help out, wants to do a lot with Stole. I like those kind of people. Obviously, everybody doesn't have a lot of time to volunteer and stuff with Stole, but people that do want to help out, we always appreciate it. And if you in the chat want to help out, I'm sure there are things that can be done. So if you're interested in Stole, but not in a fashion of, flying, in nationally. So there's a couple things you could do. You could join our on-air flight. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a Cat. Help me out on this. The flight group.
The on-air eSTOL virtual airline, and whoa,
Virtual
hang on a
airline.
moment.
Yes.
Stop talking about virtual airlines because that was a great landing from Shader. He absolutely borrowed that.
Shaderoo. Shaderoo doing a little landaroo.
But yeah, there's lots of roles. I mean, as you can see, we have camera people, we have people scoring, we have air bossing, ground bossing, yeah, lots of things you can do. So
So
if you want to
basically,
get
if you're a flight
involved,
simmer,
yeah,
if you're a flight simmer or not a flight simmer, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of stuff that you can do to join in the fun on eSTOL without just becoming a pilot and trying to win every competition. You can join it in a little more subtle way, a couple different ways. So check it out, nationalstol.com/chat. We'll have all that information for you.
oh, and he's got it slow. He's dropped it in. He's held on to
Oh.
it. It wanted to go over. Oh, get it stopped. There you go.
That I don't know if he's going to get a little warning on that or what. That was a little hard on the left tire.
Oh, and we've got okay. So Bubbles is showing a
decided
little
to
bit.
land.
Yeah, showing a little bit of his inexperience there. Should have been a go around. And so he has been issued a warning there. Luckily, they didn't come into contact. And on the simulator, as you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can't crash into someone. But yeah, we try to simulate everything as real pilots would do.
Yeah, and I mean, visually he had the space. Newer pilot, visually he had the space, and maybe he thought he did have the space. But the thing is if he would have lost control on the runway, he could have ended up. And I mean, you're talking 10 miles an hour. Could cause a lot of damage. Could cause very severe damage. But the thing is you gotta go around in that situation. But no harm, no foul was done at this point. But we do try, like Kat said, to do the best we can. And enough about that, because Taco Delight just had a delightful landing. He had some tacos to attend to, so he said, I need to stop quick and I need to stop now, around 120 feet.
Absolutely. And here comes Norcali, absolutely greasing it. So you'll see them coming in sideways like that. But what they're trying to do is to take advantage of any wind and also use the whole side of their plane as like a giant air brake. So they'll be sliding it in. It's called doing a slip. So they'll be slipping and sliding, and yeah, doing everything they can to take advantage of any breath of wind that we have.
Sometimes you got to slip on down to the whippy dip and get yourself a waffle cone.
Oh, and that's a hard landing for Sub B.
These guys pushing it a little too hard in the unlimited class.
I mean,
that's all right.
They are pushing it to the limit and sometimes slightly over. So issued a warning on that for a hard landing.
They'll get their warnings. Ground control, air control will talk to them. The most important thing is, even though it's a simulator, like Kat said, we do strive for safety, even in a simulator where nothing bad can really happen to you as far as in the bounds of the virtual world. But, we want to promote safe flying no matter what, because as an arm of National STOL, this is eSTOL. But one thing to be said, though, is this is the, kind of the training grounds and things like that. Some of these pilots will learn much about flying from the simulator. It's very realistic. So they'll learn a lot about this, and some of them will go on to be pilots in the real life. And so it's good to get these little lessons in while they're not in the actual air.
Absolutely. And just dipping into the chat, we have a hello from southern Germany. So hello there. We have people watching from all the way around the world. So that's always lovely to see as well. So thanks for showing up. And don't forget to hit the like button.
Here. Okay, so I have to issue an apology to chat. I just refreshed the YouTube and I see that there's 35 likes on there. For some reason, mine kept saying 4 the entire time. I guess it doesn't automatically update. But so now we have more likes than those that are watching. Usually it's the other way around, but hey, you guys are awesome. Thank you for hitting that like button.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Luke, stirring it up, getting ready to go. Oh, it bounces it in the air, seems to drag his tail on the ground for what felt like forever, and gets it up.
Now, guys, this is actually MP Troll. It says Sub B, but it's actually MP Troll. And just to show a little love over to the Xbox crowd, he was actually supposed to hold short, but that's going to have to be talked with by the air boss. But we do note that he was supposed to wait to get the scores fixed up. But either way, MP Troll flying on Xbox, one of our only Xbox flyers. It's insane because when we first started this, we had, I mean, if I had a mailbox, it would have been full of requests. When can this thing get on Xbox? When can this thing get on Xbox? Etc. Etc. But I will say this: it's nice to have it on the Xbox. We can get more flyers eventually for Xbox.
I think we got 2 on Xbox in this class.
Oh, there's 2. Okay, who is the other
Yes.
person? So I don't.
It's MP Troll and Subliminal Black.
Oh, Sub B is on Xbox. Okay.
Yes, he is. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of the reason because Xbox users can't use the eSTOL tool, so their runs have to be judged manually. Unlike the amazing takeoff from the Taco Delight there, which will come through the tool, but theirs need to be done manually, and so sometimes it can take them a few extra seconds to get that done.
Yeah, and I agree with Cedric P's sentiment. Get a PC already, but then after that, Xbox welcome with love. And it's true. Most people that start on Xbox, it's going to be a starting ground for them. Once they really get into the sim, I mean, if you want to try the sim, it's probably better to start on Xbox and see if you like it, especially if you have an Xbox. Because not everybody's going to like it and be addicted to it like we all are. But when you get the bug,
Absolutely.
you'll get your own PC. Eventually, it happens.
So here we go, Sub B, another of our Xbox players. I do love it watching them balance the tail in the air like that, getting ready to take off, keeping the tail up. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
Such
actually
fine
pretty
control.
difficult to do if you
Oh!
don't practice
We
it.
just, again, Subliminal Black is just rejecting gravity. Wow.
Yeah, it's like those hats that say "Not today, Satan" on it. Like, don't mess with me today. Well, Savage or Sub B has it, but it says "Not today, gravity." Yeah, NC mentions, NC Ferrum mentions PC user here. Never will a console come to my living room, but it's great that Xbox users can now attempt as well. Definitely, it's definitely good to have the Xbox crowd.
Oh, Luke
And a little more than I
gives
thought,
up
too.
a lot of distance. Luke gives up a lot of distance on that. He's going to be kicking himself, as that was his best takeoff. He's going to be kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, you really do kick yourself too, because you got your best takeoff right before that, and you know you're thinking about it all the way around. You know it was good. You can feel it, and then you come in and you land, and you one little thing though, you know, it's like making a bad putt in golf. It all of a sudden turns into, you know, a birdie or a bogey instead of a birdie. You know.
Oh, and I'm seeing in chat I have made it. You see, Sub B is not on Xbox. He's on PC.
Oh.
So I think it's
Well, I
just
wouldn't have known
MP
either
Troll.
way.
And that's the beauty of the simulator as it is, and how we run the competitions. Doesn't matter if you're on an Xbox or a PC, everybody gets to go. And that landing just back there from MP Troll was pretty mind blowing as well.
Yeah, MP Troll, he's just, well, his name might suggest what he's doing, but we won't say that. But, he's just flying the old base sim aircraft, just trolling around. He doesn't mind. He doesn't need all that fancy stuff.
So we have Wes Cabell coming in now in the Taco Delight. Wigwag lights going, which I love to see. Oh, and he's hovering it. Oh, keep it up. Was that a scratch? Let's go to the data and find out. Was that a scratch? That is looking like he was over the line. Total distance, 69 feet.
And that's what we like to see. Over the line.
Here comes Nukali sliding it in. These guys aren't messing around.
No, I love that. I love that reaction, Cat. I love how much you love eSTOL.
I think
It's crazy you've been around since the beginning, and you still have all the love for it that you did when it first started and more.
I mean, how can you not? Look at the skill that we have on display in front of us. Look at you can tell the concentration, the work that's going on. As you see the plane, that unfortunately will probably, not sure whether that would be a black flag or a warning, but I'm thinking a black flag on that one.
I would say too, he has one warning so far, and it happens. It happens. But
yeah,
don't want to tear down a pilot.
Disqualified, unfortunately.
Don't want to tear down a pilot. Oh, sorry, Kat. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, it's fine. I understand. I mean, it attests to how difficult the conditions are out there. The pilots are dealing with. And here comes
and
Bubbles.
you notice it from the first group. You have everybody from the first group. Mostly, I mean, all of them are veteran pilots, and they got done with their heat, and they were all in the chat saying, "Can we delete Pinedale?" It's like, no, it was fun for us to watch, so that's why you guys are flying at Pinedale at least, even if you guys don't like it. It's only one airport that you don't like. Come on. It's fun to watch. I mean, it's crazy with this 9,000 foot density altitude.
I mean,
no
some
air
of these
up
more
here.
tricky, some of these more trickier airfields are a lot of fun to fly. I'm thinking particularly of Virginia Beach. The winds around Virginia Beach have always been weird, and that's always an interesting one to fly and to watch as well. Yeah, absolutely.
That is so cool that's what's really cool about eSTOL is like every single airport's different, and you have to, as a pilot, you have to come in with the mindset, you have to get out to the field and practice, or, try to practice wherever you can to, in the simulator, you can, simulate whatever you want. So, you can really practice anywhere, but, think about the real life pilots, they've got to come out a couple days in advance and, or at least the day before, do the practice, get used to the aircraft. And that's how they do the real national STOL in the real world. So, but let's talk about results. So this is the unlimited class. By the way, you guys can follow us at National STOL on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, just at National STOL. This class presented by National STOL. NorCali J coming in first place with 188 foot takeoff, not too far behind Wes Campbell with 109 takeoff and landing, excuse me. Wes Campbell.
8 feet between the two of them. 8 feet.
Yeah, I know.
First and second.
What are we talking about? These guys are just neck and neck, nose and nose. I mean, if they were any closer, they'd be kissing. Wes Campbell, 196. Bubbles, 265. Luke Carrier, right there coming after Bubbles, 282. And then MP Troll coming in last place at 365. With I think MP Troll would have done a lot better if there was a little bit of wind and we were at a lower density altitude. He seems to do really good at lower density altitude, lower altitude, even in a little bit of wind. That's where his plane really tends to shine. So you can't really knock MP Troll. 365 is still wildly short for a takeoff and a landing, but definitely not the day for that plane. That's for sure.
And that is the standard cub that you get with the standard game. It is as basic as planes get in the simulator, and yet he's still there rocking it and keeping up with the big guys on most places. Maybe not up here with no wind and no air, but yeah, most places he keeps it up with the big guys.
So, Kat, where are we going next? Tell me where we are going.
I think we're going to a commercial break next, right?
You're darn right.
Oh, did you mean?
We'll see you guys in just a minute.
Out where the blacktop ends and the trees begin, I roll the throttle back and breathe it in. She don't care for comfort, she don't care for speed. She's built for the rough stuff, just what I need. No tarmac welcome,
We are back. Rocky Mountain eSTOL density altitude still hasn't moved much. We're still just above 9,000 feet. And looks like we're going to have the Spec class next. And what do you know?
Absolutely.
Kat, are you salivating at the mouth with this plane that you used to
Absolutely.
love and fly so much?
A little bit sad that I'm not flying it, but a lot bit happy that I'm going to be able to watch some amazing stuff from some amazing pilots in one of my favorite planes. And also, just to make life interesting, we flipped runways, so we're now going back the other way.
So, how do you think this plane's going to perform here today? What are you looking for out of this plane today? What are you thinking?
I mean, it's the Zenith. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be high energy. It's going to be we're going to see nose wheels buried into the ground, and yeah. So up first we have MP Troll in the Zenith, just like everybody. He's on the Xbox, followed by Bubbles, again, who third place in his second round is really good going. We have Little Black Rain Cloud Gaming, Byron Bowman, which I'm really interested to see how he flies a Zenith, and Cedric P as well in one of his custom liveries. And as you can see, pilots lining up, getting ready. Oh, it's good to see the old girl back. It's good to see. And a waggy tail on that one as well. I do love a waggy tail, and that one's got a waggy tail on there as well from MP Troll.
That's fun. All these guys are just having a good time. You know, they're actually just checking their flight control surfaces, making sure they move. But you know they're having too much fun with it. Come on, you don't move them that fast unless you're having a good time.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things to do in the circle around is to sit there and waggle my controls and say hello to everybody as best I can. So, absolutely good fun.
Well, Chad, this summer's hottest eSTOL competition is not over yet. We still have one more class, the Spec class. This week's Spec class is the Sim Work Studios CH701. Unfortunately, is no longer allowed in regular play with National eSTOL because it was just too darn good. Although we worked with SimWorks Studios a ton to kind of tamp it down a little bit, Kat kept breaking it. That's right, Kat. We thank her for finding all of them, though, because if not, then it could have taken way longer to do that. So thank you for doing that. But also, still love the plane. We still have a lot of love for the company, so we want to bring it back and show you guys some love here. And if you're a developer out there and you have a plane and you want to get it into our competition on the Spec class where everybody's flying the same plane, so you got, what is that, like 5 or 6 chances, maybe 7 sometimes, who knows, chances to show off your plane from 5 or 6, 7 different pilots, then you could be that developer if you have a new plane coming out and you want it to be in here. Doesn't always necessarily need to be a STOL plane. We've had things like Stearman in the past. Kat wants to do the Transall, but we don't think it's safe for the crowd, even though they're a virtual crowd. But, anything's possible. So just go ahead and ask, and we'll tell you if it's allowed. If you're a developer out there, you want to get your plane, this is a great way to do it. Just talk with one of the guys. nationalstol.com/chat. Probably reach out to Foxfly. You could even reach out to me, and I would tell you where to go. But that's a thing that we can do for you.
Red Baron here in the eSTOL competitor livery. So this is, again, Cedric does these. And they always look so crisp. So crisp. But yes, it would be fun to do. We had a charity event after the tragic accident and the loss of all the equipment. And in that, I for one round flew the Caribou, which was good fun. So yeah, Caribou style. That would be interesting. Yeah.
Love the old Caribou.
But now we have a lineup. Oh, And my heart sings looking at this lineup of Zeniths getting ready to compete. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
interestingly,
Justin
Yeah,
Tisdale's
so-
no longer flying the Zenith now. He's flying I think the TL3000. So good for him.
so,
I
yeah.
mean, if supposedly that bush plane is really crazy. I watched a couple videos when it made its debut at or I don't know if it's a debut, but when it came to Oshkosh, and that's when I first heard about it. But Justin, real life STOL pilot's going to be flying that. I think he's flying it in competitions now.
So we have a green flag. So the pilots are just getting ready to go. And in a moment, you'll see a little bit of, as it says on the wing there, extreme style. Everyone's just getting themselves lined up, ready to go. And the Spec class, this is something that is eSTOL exclusive. They don't do this in the real life STOL. It'd be a bit difficult having to ferry around 10 or so planes. And away we go. But yeah, this is one of the advantages of the simulator. We can do things like this. And oh, he is up and it's clean. And Veritas saying, too bad Cat ain't flying, otherwise she would have already won. I mean, not necessarily, but
That's the
I
thing
would've
about
given it a
Kat.
good go.
She would win many times, but if she didn't win, it wasn't because she wasn't trying to win. It was because she was trying really hard to win and maybe made one little mistake that cost her a scratch, etc., etc. But that's the one thing you know about Kat. She's always trying to win.
And here goes Bubbles. And very clean takeoff as well. Nothing too
Nice looking
extreme.
takeoff.
Oh, does look like he picked up some wind and pushed him over.
Yeah, interesting. What would be interesting to see? Can we get a race control to throw up the winds? We probably had them up a little bit ago. Obviously, we changed directions, but I'd like to go over that again, just as we saw that gust there. Oh, 9 knots at 367. So interesting. Winds were basically nothing earlier. They're picking up. This is live weather, by the way. This is what the weather is actually like here at Pinedale today. So if
Absolutely.
you were at Pinedale today, you'd be feeling the same weather.
And lots of, I don't know if it's a side effect of the altitude, but so far these takeoffs have all been fairly controlled, fairly, yeah, no extreme stuff happening yet.
They look really, they look really good. It's like too smooth almost. It's like you wanted crunchy peanut butter, but you got smooth instead. Look at that. That is almost like we're living in a
Absolutely.
simulation, folks. Great takeoff, though. So I'm super excited, though, about the new aircraft coming in next competition. So the very next competition coming in is going to be the Hangar Studios. Lots and lots of hype for that plane, guys. It is huge. I am so excited about it. I've been flying it all over the place, testing it, etc., etc. It's finally we get a bush plane from Hangar Studios, and it is a doozy. It's the video we've been running from the commercial. Byron Bowman with a great takeoff, flying the military livery, CH-701. But yeah, it is released, soon to be released in the marketplace, and everything like that. But it will be entering the series. I don't know about next competition, but it will be entering soon.
We've had a couple of bush planes released recently that have been very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know the Baz brothers were actually brothers. You mentioned that earlier, that CRZ Baz, or excuse me, the CRZ brothers. I did not know that they were actually brothers, but that's cool as heck.
Yeah, so so they do have plans for that plane. They're looking to update it within the next couple of months. And one of the updates they're planning on doing is having a sports version. So not quite the Dan Reynolds special, but a sports version that's a little bit tuned up. and then later on in the year releasing the damage. Oh, that's a lovely stall on the line, and he's got it stopped. Oh, that was clean.
He goes by the name of MP Troll, but that, friends, is no troll. That is a good landing from MP Troll.
That is a great landing. That is absolutely a great landing. And it looks like we have Frankie in the chat as well. Frankie's one of the old-time friends of Soul.
Oh, gotta love Frankie. Miss that guy.
Yeah.
Don't tell him, but I cry myself to sleep at night thinking about how I never talk to him anymore.
So MP Troll's total takeoff and landing distance is 150.
Wow. And now you know why we had to ban this plane. No, but seriously though, I mean, come on, we're at 9,300 some foot density altitude. It's like 98 or 70 degrees out. You know, I mean, hey, but either way, it's good to see this plane back in action.
And it looks like we might have had a bit of a simulator issue with our next pilot.
But yeah, that new plane though from Hangar Studios, guys, check it out, Hangar Studios. I think it's just hangarstudio713.com, but I'm trying to get a link to the chat for you guys.
I think there's a link in the chat.
Oh,
Fox,
good. Okay.
Pete from Fox Flyers put a link in the chat, so there we go. We've got a link there in case you. I do really like it. As you can see, I'm a fan of sort of squarish, boxy looking planes, and it's a squarish, boxy looking plane.
Yeah, and it's cool too because there will be, you know, probably a future where we see more Hangar 713 bush planes and more bush planes in general, and then, you know, you've got the CRZ plane.
Talking of watching Cedric, bringing in a lot of energy in, a lot of horizontal, needs a little more vertical on that, and that was LBR coming in. Sorry, my mistake.
Just a little lag on the little name thing down there. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, I think we also had a go around, which just confuses matters even more.
Yes. And now, obviously, we want them to go around if they need to, but it does confuse things a little bit.
Oh, and a scratch. And is that red? Is that red Baron in that one? Scratch and red Baron. That's unfortunate. Easy to do in the Zenith. Very easy to do. There's no stall horn on that. In fact, the only warning you really get of stall is increase in wind noise. So you need to keep
and a little tickle in your stomach.
Yeah. And drops over the line, carries. Oh, there you go. He buries that front wheel in. There you go. And that's how you.
Yeah,
do
once
that.
he landed, it was like slow motion. You know, carried a little power into it, but.
So that's one of the good things about a trike, is obviously you can just you can just absolutely hang on those brakes, as long as you're keeping things straight. With a tail wheel, you got to worry about that nose coming up, you know, your nose going over.
So we are going to do a quick reset real quick because Cedric disconnected. So he had an issue with his internet popped out, SIM popped him out or something like that. So we're going to do a quick reset. So guys, don't go anywhere just yet. We still have quite a few more landings to watch in this blast from the past in the unlimited class, or I mean the spec class.
Yeah, I've got to say, seeing the cockpit view again, it just makes me feel so nostalgic.
Yeah, and speaking about nostalgic, you know, something. So we should have MP Troll, LBR, Cedric.
Yeah, and that's MP Troll taking off there. Looks like his takeoff was a little longer than before, but still very competitive.
And I did want to mention to the chat, guys, if you're interested in flying with us, not only that, not just for the prizes, because we are doing eSTOL prizes running frequently, and those are, you know, based on basically more like a drawing type of thing. So it's not just like the same people getting the prizes all the time, because we do tend to
Yep.
see some of the pilots, they win all the they win, they win, they win. Well, we want to give prizes to many people. So they are running frequently, and we do have more of a drawing style with that. So come join us for the chance to win some amazing products from a lot of the different supporters and of National eSTOL, some great developers. And another thing I wanted to mention too was, we talked a little bit about this earlier, but the everybody's asking, when are you guys going to 2024? When are you guys going to 2024? Well, the good thing is that we have handcrafted sceneries that look just as good, almost as Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. There are a couple things like obviously the little flowers and the grass and stuff, but for the most part, our sceneries are handcrafted. But we still do want to get to 2024 because it's not all about the scenery. So we are working directly with Microsoft Flight Sim community team. We have Foxfly kind of taking the lead on that. He's we're all in a group together, but he's doing a lot of the work on that. So it's good to see we're getting that taken care of with the help from Microsoft Flight Sim. And you don't hear about that often in video games where the developer works with some third-party developer, or et cetera, like that. And we're not even really a developer except for our airports, but it's really nice to see them working with us, and we want to just say thank you to Microsoft Flight Sim for caring about eSTOL, caring about the community that they serve in
Oh,
general. They really do. So
sorry to interrupt you there, but it looks like he almost touched back down then, but I think he saved it. I'm looking at the data at the moment, and yeah, it looks
I thought
like
he hit too, but then I was looking at the Grafana, and it doesn't look like he hit again, as far as I can tell. Is that what
yeah,
you're
it
seeing
looks
too,
good.
Cat? That he did not?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
good.
That's what I'm seeing. It looks good. Okay. Oh, and look, there's even birds coming in as well. We're going to watch a bird soul at the same time.
I love the birds.
Yeah.
Nice touch to the scenery.
So MP Troll's last landing was pretty incredible, 37 feet. So let's see if he can beat it this time.
Oh, that's bringing me flashbacks. 37 feet landings.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look at this. He's just keeping it. Watch the balloon. Feed it the power. Nose high. More power. Oh, he's blued it a little bit, but he stalled it.
Wow.
Just like that. That's how you
Amazing
do
work.
it.
Talk
Yeah,
about
that
knowing
was-
what
that was
power you need to add and
fantastic.
knowing when to cut it off. Holy.
Absolutely fantastic from MP Troll there.
And you can hear the excitement, chat, in Kat's voice because she used to do that all the time in this plane. She knows exactly what that feels like to be adding that power and taking it off just at the right moment to get yourself over the line, just like MP Troll did. Right there. Great job, MP Troll.
Okay, so we see bubbles coming in now. Give up a little bit of distance. Oh, and a bounce, I think. Oh, no, maybe a go around. Could have been a bit of an unsafe approach, so that is a good thing to be doing the go around on unsafe. At any point you think you're going to make a mess, best thing to do is to get yourself back in the air, go and give it another go.
Yeah, better safe than sorry when you're talking about the air and the ground.
Absolutely. So LBR coming in now, nice and slow. I can tell he's probably doing about 25 knots. Just feeling it out. That nose goes high. You're just keeping it off. Oh, keep it off. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Oh, there we go. Not quite as short as MP's landing, but still very respectable.
Yeah, great work. I mean, great work on the flight controls and great work on the power management there. Power management is a lot different in
Absolutely.
STOL than it is flying in any other type of, if you're flying at speed, it's quite a bit different. Power management is it's one of the most difficult things to master, You know, when you want to add a little bit onto your landing because you're going to be landing a little too short, you know, you got to add a little bit of power. But the problem is you don't know how much power you really have to add. So it's all based on feel. It's all based on judgment and weather and all this and all the other things that go together with this. But that's why you'll see sometimes, you know, they get down a little too low, they add too much power, and then they're, you know, 20, 30 feet over the line. That's a big loss. You know, you don't want to land
Yeah,
20, 30 feet
absolutely.
over the line. So you really got to
Oh, and it
manage when you're
started
going
to
to pull
drop.
that
He
power.
saved it. Ooh, bury that nose. Oh, I know that feeling when it feels like it just won't stop.
Oh, I don't know what that
Yeah, no,
is. It's
it's
like sometimes you just get that.
Yep. Sometimes you do. It's just you're carrying too much horizontal velocity and you didn't give enough vertical velocity. So we have one of our other competitors who was having a problem taxiing background to rejoin the line.
And wasting no time about it, he is on the beeline. Love the
So
view of
this
that
is
plane
the
taxiing down.
absolutely. So issues like this with disconnections and things like this, is this just all part and parcel of you know, operating within the simulator? And it can be very taxing on the pilot as well. I mean, I for one have suffered from a tech problem or two, and when it all feels like it's starting to go wrong and it's not in your control anymore, it's yeah, it can get those stress levels up. So I can
That's when you
imagine in the,
cue the. Go ahead, Kat.
I imagine when he was taxiing and oh, good takeoff, keep it up. Sometimes that's the hardest bit. Keep it up, keep the power, drop your nose
Yeah,
slightly.
there we go.
Oh, he did it. Oh, that's as close as you get. Yeah, that's a
I don't know.
classic Zenith takeoff there, because when you initially bounce it off the mains, quite often it will come up, but then it wants to settle down, and I've had a couple of times where it's settled back down on me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it's
tough to deal with that
yeah,
because you
absolutely.
feel like
But
you've
he
got
did.
it, and then you just back down.
Oh, and it looks like Bubbles might be having a bit of a technical problem, and that will be a black flag from him. So he'll be
I don't.
back to
Uh,
the stands. Unfortunately, I think maybe he caught a gust of wind under that wing. I think they're
I don't
getting a
know. I
little
mean,
bit of a
that's like
crosswind.
almost like for a second there, it almost looked like a disconnection where like whatever input he was holding at the time just kept on going because he disconnected. But I don't know for sure. We'll have to find out. But if MP Troll keeps
Quite
this up,
possibly.
I'm gonna have to say he's gonna have to change his name because he's not trolling today. All right, 130 feet total. Not even close as second place.
Oh,
I
and
mean,
a
whoa.
warning issued and an aborted takeoff for LBR. Seems these
I wonder,
pilots are struggling to.
did somebody tie a cable across the runway at the end there, or what? What's going on here?
I'm not
I mean,
sure. These pilots are struggling to wrangle the tricky little Zenith. It can be a handful when you're on the ground and on takeoffs and landings. Those moments where you don't have enough wind under your wings, and enough wind also going over your tail to keep control. It can be difficult. He's up. Does he stop it from touching down? Oh, I think he touched back down.
definitely.
Oh, yeah, that's a touch back down, and unfortunate. So yeah, they're really struggling with the wind conditions out there at the moment.
I wonder, yeah, I wonder if it's just like dying down at that moment or something. But you know, this is when these times are tough times, but it's when you cue the Carrie Underwood and you say, Jesus, take the wheel.
Absolutely. So yeah, looks like our spec class is really really chewing through them today.
Oh, Cedric did mention his internet crashed. I was gonna say it looked like what he was holding. He was holding inputs, and then all of a sudden, he was gone, but the inputs were still there. You know, so he couldn't make any further inputs. And sometimes it'll lock the input like that. It's what it seemed like, and I think that's what happened.
I think that was Bubbles, not Cedric. Cedric was in the previous round. Cedric.
Oh, okay. Maybe Cedric is talking about.
previously.
He may be talking about Bubbles' internet to be
Quite
as to guess.
possibly.
I don't know.
But here we go. MP Troll currently showing everybody how it's supposed to be done in the Zenith. Doing an amazing job. Dealing with these very tricky conditions. And yes, you can see the wind. Oh, and the wind just dropped out from under him. And he is scratched. Ah, that's pushing it too hard, you see? Absolutely pushing it too hard, and she'll just drop out from underneath you. So who is it that we have coming in on final?
Yeah, somebody called
think
Ted Nugent
this
because
is-
it is a cat scratch fever out here today, folks.
I think this is Red? Yeah, this is Red Byron Bowman coming in.
Byron Bowman, like that name. It's a solid name. Byron Bowman.
Yeah. From what
is
I'm
Byron Bowman,
seeing
and
in
I
the
approve
chat,
this message.
MP Troll is saying that we got a bit of a tailwind, so that'll explain why they're struggling. The Zenith hates the tailwind, absolutely. So that'll explain a lot of the difficulties these guys are having. And there we go, folks. Is that our last landing? I'm not sure who's left now after all the disqualifications and black flags and disconnections. I think that might be our last one. Yeah, he's heading back to the pits.
You know, it's kind of comparable to a scary movie where you start out with the whole gang, you know, they're going camping, and then all of a sudden at the end of the movie, you don't even know who's left.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was our spec class, and what an interesting spec class it was. Not for the reasons I thought it's been done. That was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I have to agree with Kat there. Something about the end of that runway, I don't know.
Absolutely, I think
And I don't think they knew
changing
either.
wind conditions. I think the combination of the changing wind conditions, the density, altitude, and maybe just not being used to flying the plane for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, might have been factors in it being a tricky spec class this time. But hopefully we'll have the totals for the spec class soon.
And race control confirmed the totals are coming in there for spec class. So we're going to find out through the chaos
Yeah.
who is left. MP Troll with
So-
130 foot best run. Bubbles with 179 foot best run, second place. Byron Bowman with a 212 coming in last place. LBR Gaming with 234. So it's official, folks. MP Troll sending that $10 to Xbox to get his name changed to MP Serious because he's not messing around today.
And Bubbles as well. Bubbles, our new guy, coming in and showing us that it doesn't matter if you're new, and being a great advertisement for people to come and join us on.
Well, that's a really good point because
/chat.
you know, you look at last week. Last week, I think Kat was mentioning that he had crashed or didn't crash, but disqualified on the first round, and then this week he comes in and you know he's able to do it. So
just before we go, I just want to say thanks to NC who has gifted a membership in the chat. That's really great as well. So thank you for that. So Rocky Mountain Star, that was interesting. That was good fun.
Yes,
Yeah, I think it'll be
absolutely.
nice to come down from the altitude as we head off to our next place.
Yeah, it's crazy that people can live at altitudes higher than this too. You know, you've got people living at like 14,000 feet. I think is like one of the highest altitudes that people live consistently. You know, those people get used to this oxygen, but unfortunately today some of the planes couldn't get used to the lack of oxygen, but some of them did. So great competition, very interesting. Always to be flying at Rocky Mountain Stoll. Again, thanks to the sponsors, everybody that helps out from sponsorships to just partnerships and things like that, helping out eSTOL. We
Absolutely.
help out the brands. We love all the brands that we work with,
So
and so
just a quick
check them out.
mention of those. Just a quick mention of those at the moment. Thank you to On Air, Hangar Studios, Got Friends, CRZ Studios as well. And yeah, very excited.
Well, Kat, another one in the books. It was great to work with you today. I'm happy that you chose to come and fly with me. I love your enthusiasm. It makes it easy to broadcast when we're doing this together. So thank you for coming, Kat. Thanks to the team behind the scenes, everybody. We'll see you next time on National eSTOL.
Bye, everybody.